Hello, everyone. So this is Motivational Monday Live with your host, Aura Elena Martinez. And if you are new to watching this series, or if you are just learning more about me, I'm going to present myself, introduce myself. Again, my name is Aura Elena Martinez, and I'm a self-discovery and empowerment coach, helping women gain total clarity in their purpose so they can wake up to daily fulfillment and certainty. Now, this is not for you to confuse purpose with just a calling, right? Because living your most purposeful life is not limited to just you knowing what your calling is. Because I can tell you from personal experience, you could be living your calling and still not be living your most purposeful life. And that's because a purposeful life is also composed of you living greatly on a mental level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, and on a physical level, right? Because your health, your overall health is included. Your overall well-being is included in you living your most purposeful life. And I want to share with you very quickly what inspired me to create Motivational Monday Live. Mondays tend to be that day of the week that some dread, right? Oh my God, it's Monday. Oh my God, I gotta go to work, right? Oh, no. And let me just tell you this. You were not designed to be dreading any day of the week, right? You were not designed for that. And the moment you notice that you're at a point in your life where you are dreading something, that is a sign that something needs to change. Something needs to drastically change in your life. That's what a transformation is. It's a drastic change, right? And it is my sincere desire that Mondays become that day of the week that you start to look forward to, right? That you start to look forward to this series that I've created, right? Every Monday. So it is also my sincere desire that you allow this series to fill you up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? That you become more connected to who you really are. That you allow this to lift your level of consciousness. And why is lifting your level of consciousness so important? Because the more you lift your level of consciousness, the more you're able to see the truth of who you really are, the truth of how things really work in life. When you're on the third floor, you're only able to see according to where you're at. You're only able to see third floor level stuff. And as you start going up a floor and more and more and more, and you're on the 9th or 10th floor, obviously your view on things is very different from when you're on the 3rd floor. The same thing is when you increase your level of consciousness, right? You're able to see life according to the level of consciousness that you're in. And so allow this series to lift your level of consciousness and to get you even more connected to who you really are and to the truth, your truth, right? This series is meant to be entertaining, educational, uplifting. Do not let the title of the series, Motivational Monday Live, confuse you. I am not here to motivate you, right? Because like I mentioned in the very first series, motivation is very fleeting. You do not want to rely on motivation. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to transform you. I'm here to transform you. That is the intention for this series, okay? That is the intention for this series. And can you believe this is the last episode of the month of January? Because this week starts a brand new month, February. I cannot believe it, right? And with this week's episode, stop seeking inspiration. Seek instead transformation. I want to clue you in as to how you can have that overflow of inspiration, right? Because let me just say this, it's important for us to feel inspired. And why is inspiration so important? Because inspiration helps us to keep going, even when the going gets tough, even when we perhaps want to give up on our dreams and our desires, right? This is why we're always seeking that inspiration. It gives us that boost of motivation when we need it. It lifts us up, right? But there's a reason why I am saying stop seeking inspiration and seek your transformation. Because so many times we seek that inspiration outside of us. And the key is not you seeking it outside of you. This needs to be something that you're able to tap in from within to get it, right? Now, I want to clarify with what I'm about to be sharing with you today. I want to clarify that there's nothing wrong with you seeking inspiration outside of you every now and then. I want to clarify that, right? That is not what I'm saying. So do not twist my words. The problem is when you're always on a consistent basis looking outside of you for that inspiration, right? That's when it becomes a problem. Because then you depend on something outside of you in order to get that boost, that upliftment that you need. It's okay to need it every once in a while, but the intention is for you to be able to look within for that inspiration. Now, I'm going to read to you some definitions of the word inspire, right? Inspire. To fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something. It also means to create, usually a feeling in a person. It also means to give rise to. Okay. Now let's take a closer look at the word inspire, which is also a verb. So let's take a closer look at this. And did you notice something in the word inspire? Inspire. Did you notice the prefix that is in that word? The prefix in. Inspire, right? This should indicate to you that this is something that comes from within you. And for so long, we've been seeking this outside of ourselves. Again, nothing wrong with seeking it outside of you every once in a while. You just do not want to get into the habit of you relying all the time on something outside of you for this inspiration that each and every one of us need. Now, if you're wondering, how in the world am I going to find something within when that's the last thing that I feel, right? If you're wondering, how are you going to find something within yourself when you don't feel it within? Well, what's going to trigger that from within is your transformation. Believe it or not, it is your transformation that's going to trigger that inspiration from within. The problem with seeking inspiration outside of you is that it isn't long lasting. It is so short lived. When you're seeking it outside of you, perhaps it can last an hour or a day, probably maximum a week, right? But then it's only a matter of time for you to go back to the way you have been feeling, right? And not only that, you'll find yourself needing to look outside of you again for you to feel inspired, right? Just to keep you going. You're going to be relying on something outside of you. You want to get yourself to a point where you can access that inspiration to keep you going, but you're going to want to access that from within. You want to get yourself to that point. And the way that you're going to get yourself to that point is through your own transformation. All right. Trust me when I'm telling you this. Your transformation is what will provide you with that inspiration that you are seeking. Now, let me tell you this. I know that there's moments in life that can feel rough, where it seems like almost impossible to feel inspired, impossible to feel uplifted. I get it. Trust me when I tell you I get it. 2020 was a year where I saw beautiful things happening in my life, but it was also one of my most challenging years, like it was for so many of us, right? And for me, it was particularly challenging because that was the time that my mom got so sick that we were in the ER a lot. Believe it or not, we were in the ER a lot. And one of the things that impressed some people that actually knew what was going on in my personal life, they were just amazed how they knew I had just came back from the ER. I had just came back from the hospital. And shortly after I'm home, boom, I'm creating a life. And they're like, wait a minute, where do you get the energy and the inspiration for you to show up with all the things that you have going on? Right? Like they would ask themselves and they would ask me, right? And even though the work that I do, all this that I do, I love, it's from my heart, and this keeps me going. But I'm going to tell you what keeps me going even more, it has been all the work that I have done within. All the work, excuse me, that I have done within me is what inspires me the most, is what inspires me to keep going. Deep, deep work. Because it got me to a point where I see myself with so much more clarity. I see life very, very differently. And I'm going to tell you this is work that even though I help facilitate other people, I do some of it on my own, but trust me, I do not do all of it on my own. I do this with other people. And I'm going to tell you this. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing this deep level of work on their own. Anybody that tells you that they are self-made and they're doing this on their own, let me just tell you this. First of all, no one is self-made. That's a whole bunch of baloney. Nobody's ever self-made. As human beings, we were designed by nature to rely on some level on others for our growth. You want proof of that? When we're babies. From the moment we are born, we rely on our parents to grow, right? To grow. And then as we get a little older, we rely on our teachers and all the people that we interact with for us to grow in different ways, but for us to grow. And then either we go to college or to a university or to a specialized school in order to grow in a different way, but to grow even more, for us to further ourselves so that we can specialize in something, have a job, or create our own path, right? And then even when we're at work, we rely on others in order to get things going, for us to be promoted, for us to grow even further. The point is, life in itself is evidence that we rely on a certain level on others for growth. So do not let anybody fool you into thinking that this is work that you can do only on your own. There are blind spots as human beings that we have that we are unable to see. This is why some people find themselves in a cycle that they're stuck year after year after year. And even when they see progress, it's only a matter of time for them to go back to the way they were, because there's a blind spot that they haven't seen, that they haven't looked at, because it's not something that you could do on your own. So please, people that are successful, truly successful, I can guarantee you that they are successful because they didn't do it on their own. So please, whoever you need to hire, If you need to hire a coach, whoever you need to hire that person to facilitate the transformation that you're seeking. I'm available for that. I want you to know that as a self-discovery and empowerment coach, I'm available to help you with that. All you have to do is contact me and we could get you in for a complimentary clarity call. But get yourself the help that you need. Because when we do this on our own, this is when we find ourselves spinning and spinning and spinning. And I know you don't want to be spinning. You don't need to be spinning. All right. So if you're wondering, how is it that a transformation can provide you with the inspiration that you seek? Number one, how your transformation is going to provide you with the inspiration that you're seeking is that when you notice how far you have come from where you used to be, that is going to give you such a sense of pride in yourself. And that's something that no one can take away from you. Absolutely no one, right? And as a result of that, your self-esteem will rise, right? And so this is going to lead you to feeling more love for yourself. So your self-love will rise. Self-esteem is one of the core foundations to you living your most purposeful life. Okay? This is one of the foundations. And so is self-love. Right? Because when your self-esteem is low, your self-love is low. And when these two are low, you won't feel worthy of greatness. You're just not going to feel worthy of greatness. And when you do not feel worthy of greatness, you will not allow your good in. You're just not going to allow it. So subconsciously, you're going to be blocking your good. Subconsciously, and then your actions are going to reflect it. You're probably going to say no when you actually mean yes. You find yourself saying yes to the things that you actually want to say no to, right? You're just going to be blocking your goodness away without wanting to, but that's what you do. And also, when this is the case and you're seeking inspiration, you're going to find yourself, and you may not even realize that you're doing this, living vicariously through others. And that is not living. That is not living. That is called existing. I don't know about you, but there is no way I am living my life vicariously looking at how other people are living their life. No, I want to live my life. You are meant to be living your life, living, not just existing, living. And the more you start transforming yourself from within, right, you're going to notice that you're going to start living. And the reason why you're going to start noticing that is because you're going to start making decisions that are more aligned with your essence, your soul. You're going to start making decisions that are going to make you feel more alive, that you're going to be like, oh my God, yes, yes. That's going to make you feel more good. That's going to make you feel more energized. That's going to create a domino effect that is just going to lift your spirits more and more and more and more. You're going to be adding to your own life force, to your own energy. That's going to shift your self-concept. You're going to just start feeling better and better about yourself. The second reason why I say that to seek your transformation and not inspiration, and how your transformation is going to provide you with the inspiration that you're seeking, is because your transformation will be your evidence that you have what it takes to keep going. Yes, your transformation will provide you with the evidence that you need, that you have what it takes to keep going. I want to say this. This is huge, what I'm about to say. Many times the reason why we lack the confidence that we need is because we haven't given ourselves the proof that we have what it takes. I'm going to repeat that again because that's huge. Many times, the reason why we lack the confidence that we need is because we haven't given ourselves the proof that we have what it takes. And I'm going to say something that perhaps you've never heard before or no one else has said before. And it is this: the proof first needs to be from within. That proof comes from within. A lot of times we seek that proof that we need, that we have what it takes, that this can happen, that can happen outside of ourselves. And I'm telling you, it doesn't start outside of yourself. It starts within. It starts within. I'm going to share this with you. So 2020 was a very meaningful year for me since the beginning, because that was the year that I healed one of the biggest wounds that I kind of knew was there, but I didn't realize the extent that that wound was impacting my life. Different areas of my life, let me just tell you that much, including my business, including how much I was showing up and how I was showing up, okay? And it was because I had healed that wound that people started noticing a shift. I was more present online. I was just, for people, I was just glowing. I was out there. I was more outgoing. I was, in essence, more of myself. And I finally saw the proof that I have what it takes to do everything that was already placed in my heart. But I'm going to tell you this: the reason why I was able to see that proof is because I already had that proof from within. And that proof came from the healing that I had. Because thanks to the healing, I was able to see myself more clearly. I was able to see my life more clearly. See, when you see yourself and your life more clearly, you're able to act differently. You're able to do things differently. You're able to make different decisions. Things are just different. Everything's just different. So by default, outside, you got to see the proof. You got to see the proof. You will see the proof. It's inevitable for you to see the proof. But it all starts first within. The reason why I got so confident, it wasn't because, but Aura, you're good at it. No, it wasn't because of that. Because I saw myself very clearly. I wasn't held hostage by a wound that was within me. And that's what happens with so many people. What holds them hostage is not the lack of tools. It's not that they don't have certain resources. It's something within. I'm gonna tell you this: if you think that your dreams do not require personal development and inner growth, whew, you are in for a big surprise. You are in for a big surprise. Because everything that you desire will require some level of personal development and inner growth. Because you have to become the version of you that vision requires, that dream requires, that desire requires. And I wish this was something that someone would have told me back in my 20s. Okay. And back when I was in my journey of losing weight, because even though when I was in my journey of losing weight, I was so focused on my goal of being skinny, being toned up, whatever, it was only a matter of time for me to gain my weight back. And I did shortly after my dad passed. And that's because it wasn't until I became a coach myself, helping people get out of the sugar roller coaster and my own journey, that I realized that what I needed to work on was on my relationship with food and my body. I had a particular relationship with my food and my body. I was. And that's what was leading me to gaining weight, right? We have a relationship with absolutely everything, whether we realize it or not. Okay. And that's also based on the relationship that we have with ourselves. So you have a relationship with money, you have a relationship with food, you have a relationship with your body, you have a relationship with time. Yeah. And you have a relationship with yourself. And you are the common denominator in all of these relationships that you have with things outside of you. Right. And those relationships that you have, and I'm not referring to just relationships that you have with other people. I'm talking about even the objects and things that are around you and in your life, right? It's also based on the relationship that you have with yourself. That's how important the relationship that you have with yourself is, because it is the basis of everything in your life. It is. This is why you seeking a transformation is of utmost importance. It's of utmost importance. Because when you are able to transform within, that's when you're able to see the transformation outside of you. And I'm going to say this about transformation. Please do not only rely on outer evidence for how successful you or how much you're transforming. What do I mean with that? If you are wanting to transform a belief or a story that you have been carrying for decades, because depending on how long you have been carrying with something, it may take time to heal. It may take time for you to work through that, to transform that. But just because you don't see the outer evidence yet does not mean that it is not occurring already within. Because some transformations do take time. When you are trying to transform yourself physically, perhaps you might not notice the outer transformation. Perhaps you might not see yourself slim and toned yet, but inside of you, there are things that are changing. The muscle starts to tear, right? So it can rebuild itself. You are getting stronger within. Your cells are becoming new and renewed and receiving a different message, which then changes the way your inner body is working, which you will see it being reflected on the outside. Because let me tell you something, your outer appearance, your outer health is just a reflection of what is going on within you. That's why what you put in your body is so important, because that's what's going to come out of your body. Same thing with an inner transformation. Trust that everything that you're doing within, it is doing its work. And it's just a matter of time for you to see it in your outer reality. So don't let the outer reality fool you into thinking that whatever you're doing isn't working, right? Certain things may take time. I just want to say that for whoever that needs to hear that, for whoever that may need a boost of encouragement that they're on the right path if they're really working on themselves, right? Certain things sometimes just take time, but that inner transformation is so crucial. When you're wanting to see long-lasting results, the long-lasting results are a result of the inner work first. If you want to see long-lasting results on the outside, work within. Now, the third reason why I'm encouraging you to seek transformation instead of inspiration, and how your transformation will provide you with that inspiration that you're seeking, is that when transformations from within occur, they not only occur on an emotional, mental, and spiritual level, they also occur, believe it or not, on a cellular level. On a cellular level. This is why you're hearing more and more. You're hearing more people say or speak about the nervous system when it comes to manifesting the life that you want. It's because your beliefs are not only in your subconscious mind, it's also in your body, because your body stores these beliefs. Memories are also stored in your body, right? And so trust when I say, and you can look this up. I'm not making this up. You could Google it. There is a lot out there to help you understand why is it that sometimes you may be working with this, but somehow things are just not aligned. And it's because this is why inner transformation and the continuous work within is so important, because you want to get every part of you on board with whatever it is that you say that you desire, right? And I'm going to tell you this, there are no words to describe the impact that an inner transformation has in your life. When you see people that they're emanating a certain energy, the energy that they want, the things that they actually want, is because whatever it is that they're wanting, whatever belief, it's in every cell of their body. It's in their being. It's not just here. It's here and it's here. It's in every part of their being. It's who they are. It's who they are. And you just don't see yourself the same way when you have an inner transformation. You don't see life the same way. This is why people are able to experience my confidence, and they're like, oh my God, I could just see it each and every time you're more confident as you show up, because I'm a different person, but because the transformation happened within me. It just didn't happen here. It happened in every part of who I am. Right? And you can sense when you have an inner transformation, you can sense it in every part of your body. And this truly changes your level of consciousness. It raises your altitude. It just raises your altitude. And so you're able to see yourself more clearly. You're able to see what's truth and what's not. You're able to see things so differently. And this is what's going to truly inspire you in ways that there are just no words to describe it. There's just no words to describe it. And this is why I say I am encouraging you to seek your transformation rather than inspiration. Because you want to get yourself to a point where all you have to do is look at your life, look at yourself, and you will already be inspired. Right? But the way that you're going to get there is when you start transforming yourself from within. Because when you transform yourself from within, it's going to be reflected in the actions that you take. It's going to be reflected in the decisions that you make. That's when you living in alignment becomes effortless. This is when you keeping your own word to yourself about what you want and what you're going to be doing comes natural for you. It's not something that you're forcing, because it's from within you, right? And that's when you're not going to lack inspiration, right? Because again, all you have to do is just look at your life and look at yourself, and you're going to be inspired. And how great is that, right? How great is that? That's the point that you want to get to. That's the place that you want to get to in life. And that's the place where even when you get knocked down, you're able to tap within to find that strength and inspiration within to keep going, to keep moving, to not give up, to keep pursuing your dreams, and not have to use something outside of you as a crutch to keep going, right? Because you know that you can always access that from within. And this is the way that you access it. I'm telling you, this is the way that you access it. Where you don't need to rely on the internet. Even if there's no internet, you're able to look within in your own net, right? You're able to look within. You're able to just look at yourself and be like, oh my God, look at how far I've come. Look at how much I've overcome. I'm telling you, that's the value of inner work. And when you do this work with someone else on a one-on-one container, they're able to mirror to you the things that you're not able to see for yourself. They're able to show you what it is that, for whatever reason, it's just so out of your awareness. That's the value of working one-on-one with someone. That's the value of working one-on-one with someone. And I want you to know that I am available for that. So if you are ready to transform your life, to gain clarity as to what your next steps are, to know what the block is, and to turn that block into stepping stones towards the life that you want. You're ready to equip yourself with the tools that you need to gain the confidence to move forward, right? Because confidence, self-esteem, self-love, confidence, these are some of the foundations for you to live your most purposeful life. Because I'm telling you, you lack those things. You can visualize, you can dream all you want. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you're missing core foundations that are non-negotiables so that you can live your most purposeful life. If you are ready to equip yourself and to start seeing yourself in your life so clearly, I'm going to highly recommend that you schedule your complimentary clarity call with me. All you have to do is reach out to me or click on the link to schedule your clarity call with me. And let's get you all set up. We're going to talk about where you are now, where you desire to be, what is needed to close that gap, and how I am able to help you close that gap. It's time to stop the spinning. You don't have to do this work alone. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't even do it alone. Successful people are not successful on their own. They have people that help them get to where they want to go. Allow me to help you to be one of those people. So schedule that clarity call with me. If you're ready to invest in yourself, you're ready to move forward powerfully, you're ready to truly transform, which means drastically change. No minor baby changes. Forget that. You're ready to transform your life the way you want it to be. Schedule that clarity call with me. All right, schedule the clarity call with me. And share this video with those that you know. Share it because you just never know who of the people that you may know needs to listen to this message. Who of the people that you know is constantly seeking inspiration because they're feeling depleted, because they're feeling lost. And this is the message that makes them realize, oh my God, probably I need to transform something within myself that I don't even realize at this very moment. So share this with those that you know. And with this said, it is my desire that you live life to the max the way you are destined to live. And until next time, bye for now.